Hello, and welcome back to Happiness Across Borders, an investigation through podcasting. In the last episode, we got to hear from Marin and her life both inside and outside of the United States. In this episode, let's dive into a similar but different and unique experience from Baheya. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Okay, so what is your name? How old are you and what grade are you in?
My name is Baheya. I'm 14 and I'm in grade 9.
All right, perfect. So, what is your ethnicity or your cultural background? How would you define that? And just talk a little bit about it.
Okay, I'm Palestinian and I lived in Palestine. I was born there and I lived there till I was 9. And then I came here and I've lived here for 5 years.
Yeah, nice. And so, how would you say that affects who you are as a person and your identity, and how close would you relate yourself to your cultural background?
I would 100% relate myself to my cultural background. I think it honestly made me just a lot more exposed. Moving, not even just political stances, but learning how to go. This is my sixth school, going to new schools,
Oh, wow.
going
Yeah.
to new places, and I feel it just made me a more well-rounded person.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes there's moments where I don't think I fully fit in.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel that's just a part of moving.
Yeah, and so in what way do you mean you don't fully fit into, into what aspects of it, I guess?
It's I don't fully fit in the U.S. How I look, how I talk, things like that. Even family-wise, I don't think my family fits in, things like that. But it's also, if I were to go back to Palestine right now, I don't think I'd fit in there either. I probably would struggle speaking Arabic, even though I spent more than half my life there. It's a struggle. Both
Yeah,
ways.
a little bit in the middle of both of them. All right, so that's very interesting. Thank you. And this is a little bit on a completely separate
That's
path,
fine.
but what is happiness to you? So things just what makes you happy and how important is that to you? And you can go into, general happiness and joy. You can go into just little things, but how would you define it?
Okay, I would say happiness is feeling satisfied. If I'm going to sleep at night and I'm okay, that's a good day. I might not think those words directly, but subconsciously I'm okay, today was good. And I feel real happiness is sometimes I'm not sometimes I'll feel happiness for a little bit and then I'm oh, I wonder when this is gonna end. If I'm somewhere that's fun or But I feel happiness, real happiness is just okay, la 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 la.
Yeah, being
great.
content in
Yeah.
what you're doing. So an overall happiness. Okay, cool. So do you think there's a difference in what makes you happy and what should make you happy? Or do you think that, everything that does make you happy is kind of just within?
I think I have a mix.
Mhm.
I play guitar. Guitar makes me happy.
Mhm.
Performances, practices, anything like that. I think sometimes another thing that makes me happy is I like to meet people's expectations, but that's not something I can control. So most people would say that's not something you should take happiness from, but it's fine for me.
So in terms of kind of what you think shouldn't make you happy but sometimes does, would you think that's more caused by outer factors, things that other people are doing, or something that's a little more internal?
I would say more external factors. If somebody's having a dinner party and I get invited, I'm oh, yay.
Yeah.
Even though that's considered materialistic happiness, it feeds a part of me.
Yeah, no, I understand. I get it. So, more of excuse me, oh my goodness, I can't talk today. Extrinsic causes towards,
Yes.
And that shouldn't be as much as what's causing your happiness versus just internal peace and content.
Yeah.
All right. Do you see a difference in your view of happiness and your parents' or your relatives' view of happiness? And how would you describe that?
Their happiness for me or their happiness for themselves?
I guess both, or how they view, well, you might not fully know. I don't know if you've spoken with them about it, but they're...
For my mom, her happiness stems from me. I'm like her only child, so she's just like, if I'm happy, she's happy. Like happy daughter, happy life.
Yeah.
So she does try her best to like make me happy, and then that like feeds her happiness. For her, like being happy, like she's always like, she has these lists for every day, and she's like, she's happy if everything on her list is checked off. Like she's run her errands. That's just like her happiness. For my grandparents' happiness, they're just like, they're very religious, so like if they think they're doing good religion wise, that's happy for them. They want me to do good in school. If they see I'm doing good in school, that's like happiness for them, and that's kind of like where their happiness comes from.
Yeah. Within your parents and your grandparents or any of your relatives, and how you're talking about, you know, their happiness kind of being affected, would you say then that from what you've observed, they kind of view overall happiness as the success of the people around them, or more like intrinsically?
I feel like it's more about the success of the people around them, especially like I said, because we move a lot, so it's kind of like you have to stay like tight knit.
Yeah. No, I understand. So it would be less like achievement based, less like success based for themselves.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And would you say that that's rubbed off a lot on you, and like?
So it has rubbed off on me. So when I was like growing up in Asia, I like went to like a very competitive school. So my happiness was like, oh, like if I was successful, if I got good grades, things like that. And then as I started to move around and realize that things like that, they are significant, but they don't stick, they don't stay. I started like, my happiness started stemming from, oh, if my parents are happy, if my grandparents are happy. And it really evens out, because they're happy if I'm happy, I'm happy if they're happy. So it's like, it works out.
So they're both, you know, coming from like an outside, like the community around you. Then if you can give and they can give to you, then it's like kind of like a circle. All right, cool. And so I guess that kind of answers my last question, but the last one was kind of, do you think it's more important for your own personal actions to, and not just actions, but internal, you know, thoughts and internal feelings to, you know, be what your joy relies on, or the effects of those around you?
I think for now, other people's happiness is more important, but I think at some point I can't like rely on other people's happiness. But for now, where I am, I think other people's happiness is the more significant.
But it's situation dependent?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. This was a great interview, and I hope to